Welcome ladies and gents, my name is Rick Curci and this is the review for Dying Light. I have to say I was very pleasantly surprised by Dying Light. Dying Light is another zombie game, one with a free running mechanic seemingly inspired by games like Mirror's Edge. But what you have to understand about this game is that it has personality and numerous times can be very enjoyable. You play as Kyle Crane, an agent hired by the GRE, the global relief effort, to drop into the quarantined city of Haran to uncover some secret files. Crane joins a group of survivors and learns how to survive the zombie population. At first, Dying Light took a couple of sittings before I truly got into it. The hook was the free running. When first introduced, the controls were a bit clunky, but once it finally clicked, I couldn't put the game down. The free running was just so responsive as I jumped from rooftop to rooftop. I was having so much fun navigating the world as I avoided Haran's infected residents, which was my preferred approach. One of the other great things about this game is how it allows you to play the way you are comfortable with. Use free running to avoid the infected or just charge them head on and wipe them out. I always love games that give you that freedom. I really enjoyed the combat. You'll mostly use a melee weapon against enemies, but you also have the ability to kick. It's also worth noting that the melee combat is tremendously brutal, but also so satisfying. When in combat, it is very important to be aware of your environment. Many times I was engaging a zombie I thought was separate from a nearby horde, but when I started taking damage from behind, I realized that the horde had found its way over to me. You need to always be aware and control the fight so you don't get swarmed, which will kill you quickly. There are multiple types of zombies. You have your standard slow-moving zombies, the fast-moving virals, goons, toads, bombers, and of course the volatiles, which are probably the game's most ferocious of the infected. Only coming out at night, the volatiles patrol the streets as you attempt to sneak around them, but sometimes you aren't so lucky. Once spotted, your only real option is to run, using a UV light and light traps to put distance between you and your pursuers. You might ask the question, why would you ever go out at night knowing how dangerous it can be? Well, other than specific quests requiring you to be out at night, there is also a leveling bonus. You'll gain more power points from combat, more agility points from free running, and more survivor points from, well, surviving. Nights can always be skipped by sleeping in a bed at a secured safe house. There is also a crafting system in the game. As you search the world, you will uncover items that you can use to create med packs, grenades, firecrackers, throwable weapons, etc. There is also metal parts to repair your weapons, upgrades to equip to your weapons, and ammo. You can always visit shops to purchase supplies, but not all shops sell the same things. As you perform free running moves, fight enemies, complete quests, and search for supplies, you will gather points toward one of the three skill trees: Survivor, Agility, and Power. Once leveling up a specific category, you can spend a point for a perk like increased overall health, the ability to drop kick enemies, a grappling hook for faster navigation, and many more. The game's story was also very surprising. Once the game hooked me, the story was very engaging, and it also introduced me to many great characters. I was also surprised when the game had really hard-hitting emotional moments that is only made more impactful by the awesome voice acting. Outside the main story, there are side quests, random events, co-op, and even a competitive online gameplay as player-controlled zombies invade your game. This is where Dying Light really starts to show why it isn't perfect. If you choose to enable this feature, players will play as the hunter, whose only goal is to kill the human players. The humans have a set number of respawns, while the hunter has an unlimited amount, but will need to wait much longer before being back in play. The goal of the humans is to destroy 5 hives. The problem here is that I felt the hunter was greatly overpowered, as they can simply pounce on humans for an insta-kill. Of course, playing with friends in this game mode can help even the odds as you have somebody watching your back, but it's still a frustrating game mode even after getting an understanding of how to best go about it. Playing as the humans is clearly the less fun of the experience, but playing as the hunter is something only players who pre-ordered the game can access. While the developers had every right to do this, it is still bad marketing in my opinion. Another negative was how I felt the game during its main story missions at times became very difficult. Whether if it was one of the very few boss fights or just a bunch of gun-wielding human enemies, these moments were very frustrating. Of course, there are technical issues as well, like slow texture pop-ins, moments where zombies oddly clip into objects. These glitches, however, were minor. But Dying Light was so much better than what I expected. It's a fantastic zombie survival game with characters you care about, an emotional story, and awesome mechanics. Dying Light is well made, downright fun, and a promising start to 2015. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.